One day left in 2021. Make good use of it, won't you? And at this time of year, of course, we seem to believe that planning to do next year what we should have done this year is a great preoccupation. But New Year's resolutions, well, they're a self-improvement tool for many, but just as buying a puppy for Christmas is a bad idea, planning or resolving to lose weight, drink less, or love more is often fraught with failure. Nevertheless, self-reflection is not a bad thing, is it? Well, this time 7 years ago, in 2014, I was, at this very time, in an induced coma, recovering from open-heart surgery. You see, my aorta suddenly tore. High blood pressure. It's a silent killer. So I guess my New Year's resolution is to say to you, go and get yours checked. I was awfully lucky to have a great surgeon and a team of medical professionals who saved my life, and they told me afterwards that the odds for that operation were in fact 60-40 the wrong way. My poor wife. My poor parents, they suffered more than me because, well, I was just simply out to it. Now, I only mention this because I'm here to tell the tale. And every day is great, but some are better than others. And New Year resolutions are fine to make. They're often broken. But to me, the best resolution is to live life to the full. It's only possible, though, if you treat others as you wish to be treated yourself. It's called the Golden Rule. Well, we're really, happy to talk about it. And Marny, Dr. Marny Lishman, who's a health and community psychologist, joins us. I mean, the idea of New Year's resolutions. Marny, what are some of the most common New Year resolutions?
Well, it usually comes after a lot of reflection and evaluation, doesn't it, from the year that's just gone. Yeah. We're looking back and saying, what did we learn here and how can we improve ourselves going forward? And what are the things that we need to be doing? And usually, like we're just mentioning, it's usually related to improving ourselves somewhat in relation to our health. So it might be trying new things, maybe more physical activity, so exercise, lose weight. Other times it's giving up a lot of our vices. So it's a lot of the quitting smoking you'll see starting and the trying to drink less. But then there's other things where I want to be more present for my family or travel more, of course, and I think a lot of people are screaming out and really yearning to do that. And then, of course, a lot of people just want to make more money. There's a range of things that people want to do going forward to improve their life.
I reckon if you aim too high, you tend to fail. We seem to fail generally at these New Year's resolutions. I think the idea of losing weight, I got told everybody needs to lose 10 kilos, well, most people do. I mean, you know that you're destined to fail some of these resolutions.
Exactly. And I think the statistics are actually between 80% and 90% of New Year's resolutions actually fail by the time you get to February. So most people either pick too many, they pick ones that are massive, that are really unachievable. Some pick ones that are extremely boring and they really don't want to do in the first place. And other times it's their partner that's made them do it. Other people pointing out what we need to change.
Yeah, well, look, my wife will be taking notes. I'll have a bit of counselling when I get home. Lorraine will tell me what I need to do. There's no doubt about it. But so what is the key, apart from having a partner taking notes, to actually making some success out of these attempts at New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, I really think, it starts with the self-awareness, doesn't it? Reflecting back on what the years before you are and having to think about what you want to be like going forward. And a lot of us will come up with numerous goals, but what I would say is be really specific. Pick one and pick the one that excites you the most, because we don't want you failing straight up. We want to build your self-efficacy and your confidence. So pick the one that most excites you. Make it an action or a behaviour. Don't just say, I'm going to exercise. Pick exactly what that is and what you're going to do, and pick a time of the day and pick the amount that you're going to do. So be really specific and measurable. Make it achievable and almost have little deadlines in place, so make it really timely. And what I'd also say is don't do all of them at once. Pick ones that will excite you, that are achievable, and that you're going to gain something to your life. So try not to give up too many things. Try to pull things in your life that are positive, that are beneficial, and that gets you going. And then the harder ones you can do later. But what we want to do is build up your confidence straight away and start small.
So Marny, Lishman, do we get the calendar out for 2022? And I know my late mother used to say you don't bring it out till the 1st of January. But if you get the calendar out, do you actually write down these marks and you say, by the end of January, I'm going to have this. By the end of February, I'm going to do that. By the end of... Is it good to actually put these performance measures out there writ large for you, that personal as well as others' accountability?
Yeah, well, as human beings, we're very reactive to how we feel on a daily basis. And if we don't make it very clear to ourselves, and that's why, like you said, it's really good to plan, if we don't give our brain the actual procedure of where we want to go, it's just driven by how it feels. So I would say, like you said, note down the dates, write down your to-do lists. If you're going to exercise, buy the packages, where you have to buy, like, for this amount a month, I have to do 10 Pilates classes. So you've already booked and paid and everything's there. So I would say the more you plan, you're actually guiding your brain and telling it what it needs to do. And then the more you do that, what you'll find is that it becomes a new habit that is more beneficial probably than the naughtier habits that many of us have crept up on us over the last year or so.
Well, look, I'm a student of consumer behaviour. I studied it. I must say that I reckon that the marketing now about lose weight early in the new year, those sorts of sales, the go and buy yourself the bike thing, all these sorts of things, this is all about tapping into that kind of hedonistic experience of trying to pretend you're going to be successful in some sort of New Year's resolution. They want your money now. They don't care what you do through the year, I guess.
They do. But I think, if we're talking New Year's resolutions, I would say sit somewhere quietly without your devices and the ads telling you to buy their stuff. Be really reflective and say, how do I want to feel in 2022? What do I want to be feeling like? And then really be guided by that. And then you can kind of distance yourself from the consumer part of, particularly the physical activity. Everyone is peddling you the hot body, but maybe that's, we know that doesn't make you happy a little bit.
Yeah, it's inside there somewhere. It's inside there somewhere. We can all go looking for it, I suppose. But I mean, you say big things, big ambitions. I think being good to others is a good thing, and try and be your better self through 2022. And I'd reckon that a bit of freedom is what people want as well, Marny Lishman. Appreciate your time tonight. Happy New Year to you. I'm not even going to ask you what your resolution is. I'm not going to offer mine up too much more than I already have. Thanks so much for your time tonight.